today to chat with Sue Hodson in South Africa to talk to us about the Worship Through Words and Dance conference coming up on October 16th. Welcome, Sue. Thank you for being with us today. How are you?
Well, thank you. And hi to everybody else out there. Wonderful to be here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, we just want you to just tell us about yourself and how long you have been with ICDF.
ICDF and I go back a long way to 1989 when it was first formed in Bathurst, Australia. I was part of the South African team who was privileged enough to go to the conference. And at about 2:00 in the morning, they decided it was time to form an international Christian dance fellowship. And so we became founding members, and we came back to South Africa to start the Christian Dance Fellowship of South Africa. And so I've been involved since 1989 and have come and gone as the years have passed, depending on whether I'm having children or not. And so I'm considered one of the oldies.
Well, that's great. I mean, an oldie, I wouldn't say, but a seasoned saint, I would put it that way.
Oh, a seasoned saint. I'll be a seasoned saint.
Well, I'm sure you've made such an incredible impact throughout the years with ICDF and teaching others. What led you to choose to dance, and how did that impact the Dance Teachers Network?
So I have always danced. I started dancing when I was 5 years old, and my aim was to be a professional dancer. However, my path didn't lead quite in that direction, and I was a gymnast instead, and then pursued dancing and dance training once I'd left high school. I also went into teaching as a profession. So I was a classroom teacher for many, many years, but always continued dancing and teaching dance. And after about 5 years of classroom teaching, I decided to stop that and to move into full-time dance teaching. So I took over the Christian Dance School here in Cape Town from Rosemary Raw, who was the founder of ICDF in South Africa, and was teaching and dancing for a number of years, in fact, until I had my own children. And then I continued teaching dance part-time. And then, yeah, I just don't think I've ever stopped. I still am teaching, not full dance teaching at the moment. I'm very involved in Living Dance International with Bess Blewett. And so we, with another friend of mine and I, Yakami Duplessis, we run the South African side of LDI. And we do examining, training of teachers. So I've kind of moved from training of students more into the training of teachers, which I'm loving. And one of the other things that I do is I take once a week I teach a dance class with intellectually disabled folk that live on a farm near us here in Hermanus. And it's the best week, the best hour of my week, because there's no competition, there's no judgment. We all just dance and have fun. So that's the extent of all teaching.
Yeah, that sounds incredible. So you'll be bringing such great experiences to the conference. Can you tell us about the upcoming event and the things that people can expect to get out of the workshop?
Sure. The event is on the 16th of October. All the details are on the ICDF website. So if you go onto the website, follow the link to the network and online conference, and you'll be able to register for free. And ours is the third webinar of the day. We're going to be looking at questions that teachers have and teachers may be asking, or potential teachers might be asking. So you're invited to a virtual panel discussion, and the program will consist of questions to various teachers, and those teachers have been asked questions like, does dance prepare you for school ready? How can we strengthen dancers better? What are the challenges facing a Christian going into a professional career? What tips do you have for people who are involved in ministry but also professional dance? So is there a correlation between the two? How much of a difference is there? What is dance ministry? So those types of questions are going to have been asked of various dance leaders that we've sourced from around the world, and their answers have either been videoed and will be presented, or they'll be live, so that they are able to answer any questions.
That's phenomenal. I love how you are striving to connect the dots between the secular dance world and into the Christian dance world. And that does plague a lot of different dancers over the globe, because we are definitely going into the studios to learn this certain type of dance vocabulary. And then we're bringing that into our Christian dances. So that should be an incredible time to learn how we can connect the dots between the two worlds. That's phenomenal. And so any future plans for the network?
We'd love to expand the network. At the moment, we seem to have a lot of ballet dance teachers, and we would love to expand it to other dances and styles. So hip hop, modern, jazz, tap. We would love those teachers to come forward to join the network, so that we can learn from one another, because although the styles might be very different, the situations we find ourselves in as Christians are very similar. We're all dealing with children who come from diverse backgrounds. And how do we treat them as Christians? What makes our dance school different to the teacher down the road? So we learn from each other in terms of how we work with those children and with those adults that we have and that we're teaching. We also want to encourage a network of people that will encourage one another to excellence. How do we motivate, how do we teach each other to be able to raise that standard of Christian dance? What makes Christian dance different to worldly dance? It should be our standard. We should be ones actually out there being the outliers in choreography, in movement, in costumes. We shouldn't be the laggers following behind the world. So my vision is very broad for the Dance Teachers Network, but at the moment, I think for the next year is really to gather a lot more people under that umbrella